a second, I have to open a window. Yeah. Oh. So buildable technology, this is very useful. Timber structures, stone. I in general prefer stone structures, so that would always be one of the first one I start going for, but it is down to what you like. There is no, I don't feel there's any advantages of either, so that one. And we need a biofuel. We need electrical wiring. And I actually like to have those two as well. I know I can't build the battery because I only have two, so I'm leaving that for now and hope I find some more. Yeah, I already did that. Oh, there's a stone.
Radiation protection falling.
So, what can I, what can't I build? So that's the big question. I know I can make some more ferrite dust. So let that work a little bit on that. Can I make 4 out of what I have? I actually think I can. There. What more do I need? 2 carbon nanotubes. Then I can actually build the teleport module. I'm going to put that down in this end. There. It's not going to be useful without electricity, but that's where we're going eventually. So how much do, oh, I have that, good. Let that continue working. So what do I need to actually build a solar panel? Metal plating, gold. I need 1 gold. And chromatic metal. I need 1 gold. Where do I get gold from? Well, somewhere out in space. So there was copper not too far away. Armored climb, that means there's water. Salt. Copper, yeah, that was through the... Well... Do I want to do like I did last time, go through the mountain? No. I pass on that because that was a little bit too hairy for me, so I try to play the safe card a little bit more at the moment. And I'm picking up some, there's an animal I haven't scanned. Oh, I have. So I'm even lying for you. So that is the annoying thing. You have to keep filling up your
Radiation protection.
protection. And that of course gets better down the line, but for now it's actually blah, to be honest. I like the fact that it's warning me that my mining beam is low. If I am in a situation where I actually don't pay notice to that, then I don't really deserve that.
Radiation protection.
Oh, that seems to be a big deposit. That is actually good. So
Technology recharge.
I'm actually at the moment doing okay. At the moment.
Radiation protection.
So if anyone disagree, please feel free to use the chat. It's for everyone. You don't have to be a subscriber or follower to use chat. And the thing is, if you are in a situation where you need help with the game or are new to the game and don't understand some of the concept, feel free to ask. Even though I'm sitting on a higher setting, many of the basic things apply in all aspects, so feel very free to ask questions. And those who used to come in and watch me, please feel free to say hello. You don't have to chat if you don't want to. That is absolutely fine. You can sit and lurk in the background. And you know that I address all of you, and I have equal respect for those who just sit and listen or watch. That's absolutely fine as well. There. So I got a little bit of copper, and that almost cost me all of my protection, but yeah. So back to the base. One of the good things with having a base is actually it shows up no matter what. So from space I will be able to see the base. I'm so tempted to go through the mountain. First of all, because it actually, so that's the bedrock. Always bear in mind, at some point you can't go deeper. Where the bedrock is determined by the kind of RNG of the creation of the planet. And unfortunately sometimes things you need to dig up is actually deep in the bedrock and you can't get it. I have had that with different things, and it has become better, but it is still a problem sometimes. I need to go that way. So you can ask yourself, why would we want to have tunnels in a mountain behind a base? Well, why would you? I know this game is not like that, but in some games it's actually quite good to have a route of escape. As I said, I know this game is not like that, but still. I know a lot of people have made underground buildings as well. I'm not even close to my base, am I? Wow. Ish. Yeah, mining song. Oh dear. I think I'm in a situation where I don't. Well, I can only think about one mining song. Hey ho, hey ho. Then you can start guessing where that's from. Yeah, but they're carbon, so it would be very boring chocolate, I think.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
So how are you today, Tuatha?
Radiation protection falling.
Well, yeah. That is true. I was building something, wasn't I? I needed chromatic metal. Well, I'm very fine. I have started my Permadeath save, and the first one I managed to die within an hour. Kind of a weird way of dying, but so I started another one, and that's the one I'm playing still. That's a couple of hours old, so that's a good sign. But you know, I got all these challenges over a very short time, so I'm running with two of them, Permadeath being one of them, and the other one is the no money one. So I will play them on alternate days. So tomorrow I will play no money. That's on normal save, so that's a little bit more relaxed. And then I can look forward to Permadeath, where I can spend money, just as long as I don't die. But I'm actually quite fine. You can feel there is some restrictions to what you do, and yeah, things is a little bit more harsh around you, but as long as you play reasonably, it should be fine. I mean, there is people who have played hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours on Permadeath without dying. So I know I sometimes even on normal can die. I have done that. I have been stupid sometimes. I've been cocky. I've been complacent. You can name it. I have been it. But on the other hand, I play a lot of games to have some fun. And if I don't have fun, then I don't want to play them. And I do have fun playing No Man's Sky. It is one of my absolute favorite games. No doubt about that. So, you asked how I was, and I gave you my life story. That's, wow, no I didn't, but, you know what, I've been playing Starfield during the day, and it's really a game. I like the game, but it's demanding so much when you sit and play. You have to be concentrating 110% all the time, because again, one little mistake and you're dead. Okay, dead doesn't mean that much in that, except if it's some place where you can't get on unless you don't die. But it takes so much concentration, and I love No Man's Sky. Well, I'm playing Permadeath, so I have to concentrate, but a normal game, the concentration doesn't need to be high level. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to not being stupid or being a morbid, and I'm good at those things, but yeah. That was just what I wanted to say. So let's go back to the mining song. Hey ho, hey ho. That's the only one I can think of. Anyone got something better, maybe? So I tend to keep my refiner running as much as I can. Oh, I need gold. Okay. It's not gold on this planet. Of course not. Ah. So the only thing I can think of is take flight. But I hope I don't run into any pirates, because I am not actually ready to fight them. Investigate the space station. That might actually be a good idea.
Hostile scan detected.
Yeah, I had a feeling that when I take flight, that's one of the problems I encountered in survival mode as well. They come very quickly. Oh. So, what do I have? I don't have much. Oh, I have to go the opposite way of what I normally do. Bear with me 2 seconds. I need some water and some more fresh air. So I'll just leave it on. I'm not going far, and I'm quickly back. So, sorry for that. So I need to talk to someone, and going up to the right side here is mainly shoppers, sellers. So that's not really something we can use. So I'll go up and talk to some of the ones standing here and see if anyone will explain to me anything about 16. I died within the first hour because I ran into something I have been warning about all the time I've been playing, and of course I demonstrated why I've been warning about it. But apart from that, I have now 2 good hours without dying. No, it's actually kind of going quite okay so far, but it is. I have to make the right decisions. But it's very interesting playing this way. So, good. So I need to go and visit them on the other side. So I will do that. And that's kind of my normal trip around the space station anyway. And the thing is, I will try my hardest to get as much help from everyone there is around here. So, yeah. This is not going to kill me, at least, I hope. So that one up there is 1,000. So it's kind of important I can put something there when I get something, but I don't have enough nanites for anything interesting. I'm not really going to buy C. I'm putting it on if I get it for free, but I'm not going to buy C modules. That's a little bit too far out. C class. So even though I want to survive as long as, and I've got a little bit of a hidden agenda, because it's actually the only achievement through Xbox Game Pass I don't have. That is the Permadeath one, leaving the first galaxy. So if I can get to that point, then I will be very happy. So oh, did they by any chance have gold? No, they had silver. So I'm in that situation where I am actually not going to sell cheaply, so I am as greedy as I normally are when I'm playing. And as I said, I farm carbon around because suddenly I can't take any, and that would be one thing I can't play without. That is, it's fueling so much that it would be giving up, I would say, if I didn't have carbon. So anything you see me doing, if you're a new player, you can actually kind of copy that, because that would benefit in any type of game. So now I'm starting with the languages. It's not because of the languages. it is because I hope to get something out of them. Whether it's standing, money, nanites, technology, everything is beneficial, and the more I don't have to go and buy, the better it is. I know some people say, I can't be bothered talking to all those people, it's boring. Yeah, absolutely. But it's also boring running around for hours trying to find something to get a little bit of something. So it's just weighing up, what do you want to do? And you choose. It's your game, and you can do things exactly like you want. Whatever I do, you can do the opposite, as long as you are happy with it. And we do very often say there's no right, there's no wrong, there is different ways of doing things, and you choose which way you do it. The only thing I would say is there's sometimes easy ways, there's hard ways, but whatever works for you, that's the direction you take. I've never been a big supporter of telling people how to play a game, because I feel personally it would take sometimes a lot of the enjoyment of discovering the game away. And you see, I mentioned Starfield. I know Lazarus was playing that yesterday at the same time I was sitting and streaming it, and I mean, that's a game where you could actually ruin the game if you were sitting telling what to do, because certain things you have to find out yourself. And it's not like when I'm sitting streaming it, I'm not sitting coming with spoilers. I'm telling what mission I'm on, which part I am on, and then people can actually choose whether to look or not. And believe me, in my own game, the one I don't stream, I have two characters playing. One I stream and one I play myself. And the one I play myself, I have been so far out that I had to find another way of actually sort things out, because I couldn't actually do what I was trying to do. So yeah, and it's sometimes the same here in No Man's Sky. You're sitting playing and you get stuck on something, and that's why I say that if you're stuck because you don't know, then of course you always have the option to ask someone who knows, i.e. use my stream. Oh dear. Yeah, I know what the red mile bar is. I haven't been there yet myself, but I have a feeling that's not a place where you want to end up in a shootout. uh. No, it's so funny with Starfield. I know I'm sitting playing No Man's Sky, but as most of you know, I live with my 2 adult kids. They are in their 30s, both of them, and we play many of the same games, and they both play Starfield as well. And the funny thing is, we have done some of the missions in very different ways. From sneaking through to taking a full blast gunfight. So, and that's the thing I love with a game, and it's the same with
Radiation protection falling.
it's the same I feel with I forgot all about gold. Oh, it's the same I feel with No Man's Sky. Is you can reach the same point by doing different things, and that's for me is what creates a good, if not a great game. It's not one linear way from A to B, and you have to follow that line. That was often my problem with games as World of Warcraft. I loved the world, I loved the storylines. I hated that everything was generic made, so you followed one out of a number of lines to get to a certain point, depending on the race you pick from the start. And I find that such a shame when you have a whole world. Why? Why do you really have to make things linear? You don't have to. Make it open. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have made a couple of mistakes like that as well. Luckily not ending up in gunfights, but the E key is very dangerous sometimes. So I will say that the whole concept of open world games has changed so much over time, and I do love that it becomes more and more. Don't you love the open world in Starfield as well? That you actually can go wherever you want. Yeah. I'm actually starting using my scanner indoors to see what there is, and then I look at it when I have time to do it, because sometimes if you're in a gunfight you just kind of loot everything, but if I have time I'm become very selective what I pick up. Well, yeah. No, it's great with all the freedom you have, and it creates a much more I have that feeling at some point, but I mean Starfield don't have the opportunity to actually keep exploring and exploring the planets is not working very good. So
Radiation
that
protection.
that's the thing I'm a little bit sad about, because that's one of the things I love with No Man's Sky is you can land on the planet and you can actually walk all the way around it. Yeah. No, I hope. I think they are kind of checking how much positivity, because I know they've done with Skyrim and Elder Scrolls that they have they have added over time, so we can hope. But I do love the storylines which is put in it, and I have said that a couple of times. I wish we had more of that in No Man's Sky. That would, for me, lift No Man's Sky up to a very, very high on my all-time games.
Radiation protection. Falling. Units received.
That's the only thing I feel could really add to it, and you're right that the limitations probably will hit at some point, but there's a question how far into the game you actually come before you start feeling you're missing out, because I feel that a lot of things keep popping up, and actually opening up new doors, and oh well. So I do something which I always do in the start of the game. I actually try to find something which can give me money. And the more I can actually get without... Oh dear, I have a problem here. Take metal plating, so that's luckily something I have. Oh.
Technology recharge.
I always try to make a base of money, so when I need them, I have them, so to speak. And it is always, I feel good to get some base economy running. And I don't think this one will come up and ping at 4 billion. That is interesting. What is that there? I need to concentrate what I'm doing because I might actually be putting myself in a little bit of a situation here. However,
Radiation protection falling.
well, we need to make sure that things are going the right way. So I have to kind of progress things in the right way. Yeah, you want me over there. I'm fully aware of that. And that one is because that is a manufacturing facility. So we're just going back to the ship and take off because I'm not going to fight Sentinel quads at this point. I am going for that one instead. And this is a little bit of a hint. If you land in those colored landing zones, you don't use any fuel to take off. So that's actually very beneficial. Well, you can say one thing, it impressed me Bethesda actually came with an update so quickly after release, and that for me is actually a good sign.
Radiation protection falling.
Yeah, I am at a freighter, so I'm actually going to find the cargo pods. There is normally 6, and if you go in first person, you don't have to dig for them. No, I find it's a good sign that they actually do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. That went very, very quickly. I don't like that.
Technology recharging.
Oh dear.
Radiation protection falling.
Oh, I think there's many new games coming out, and then it takes a year before the first update come, even though there's crashes or other things. I know there has been some issues with certain things, and well,
Radiation protection falling.
It's always been one of the things I have found very, very good with No Man's Sky. It is the constant amount of updates there is. If there is something wrong, it will be... Yeah. I'm not going to do that now. Can you please let me do what I'm doing first? So this I'm doing right now, right?
Radiation protection falling.
Have a little bit of cautious when you're doing it, because
Radiation protection stabilizing.
even on normal, the radiation probably won't kill you, but if you play higher levels, it's one of the things which can actually really cause you harm. And for me here, it could be goodbye for me. Because it is relatively early in the game, so I am not very well protected.
Radiation protection falling.
But I of course just have to make sure I keep topping up. I'm on top of things pretty much all the time. And as long as... Oh, multi-tool expansion slot. That is...
Radiation protection stabilizing.
So, being indoors here is actually like being in a building. So, if I wait a little bit, it will fill up by itself, and then everything will be fine. What concerns me is I'm probably running out of space in my exosuit, but yeah. Starship not close enough. So there we are, close enough. So let's move something. Yeah, that's okay. Just fill some of the stuff I don't need to have on in the exosuit right now. The thing is, my ship is normally close enough for me to actually take it from there. So there we go.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
So I just wait until it's up. Then, oh, a warp cell. That is a very, very good thing. So I got all 6 containers, and I actually got a couple of good things out of it. So that's actually not bad. a warp cell would be useful when we kind of leave the system. So I have one more thing to do. Go and dig up an artifact. So I would say I was a little bit nervous starting a Permadeath game, and yeah, those of you who were with me when I died did hear all the swearing, and I was slightly stupid. That's no doubt about that. But on the other hand, shit happens. So that's how it is. Can't let that ruin anything else, because I do want to, first of all, I do want to have that achievement as well. And yeah, I could pretty much go and cheat and, well, not cheat, but I could go and find a portal and take the easy way to the core and go through the core and get the achievement and bingo, done. But that's not how I play anyway, so so let's go and do this one.
Radiation protection.
That is always good for some money. So in order to find the artifact, you need to have 3 keys. That's the large one. And if you want to have a controlled fight with the sentinels, these artifact sites would be good to go, and then take one of the gravitino balls, and then some sentinels will come, but it will be you controlling the fight. If you stick around long enough, then down the line, that will probably be what I do at some point. But I'm not engaging any sentinels until I'm actually strong enough to fight them properly. But you see, there is gravitino balls, you can dig them out. There is also one up on top here, normally. Yeah, there. But as said, it's a suggestion if you need a controlled fight. Then this is normally good to do on a planet without sentinels. So, how much word was it? 137,000. Okay. Not great, but yeah. It's still 137,000, so it's 137,000 more than I had 10 minutes ago. So that is not That's not the worst. So I would say that what very often happens on this channel as well, we very often talk about other games than No Man's Sky, mainly because many of us has been around for a very long time. We played a lot of games down the line, and sometimes we turn a little bit nostalgic, and that is one of the things which is always very difficult, because nostalgia is a horrible mistress. So what do I need? Chromatic and microprocessors. Microprocessors I have to buy. And that is going to be at the space station. So, making money. Oh, there's an entry in the guides for making money. Interesting. I don't need to. Units required, yeah. You know what? I think I'm fine. And I can tell you for why. I have stopped to sell, so and that's the thing, it doesn't calculate what you already have, it calculates what you have in cash. So this is actually not too bad. So let me, that one is actually not for sale. Sometimes do sell those things, but it has to be some merit to it. That one is for sale, actually. So I always would have the sales items on my ship, and that's kind of how I always end up playing. And that's one of the weird things, is that I actually play pretty much the same way no matter what I do. So that one I don't need for now. Now I sell them even though they are low. because I need the money to buy. Was it 4 of these I needed? I thought I found one somewhere. I might not have. Doesn't look like it. Okay, then there's 5 I need. And again, it's yeah, it's not 60 I need. So that artifact I found pretty much covered them. Good. That's actually going the right way. So as I'm here, I can actually just chuck them on, and I have a hyperdrive. That is actually not a bad thing. So the big question is, do I want to put this on and expand here at this point? Oh, that's a tricky question, because I would like to upgrade to a better multi-tool, but normal question is, when can I do that? Well, theoretically I can go to the anomaly and then grab some Twitch drops. Because like everyone else, I got them. And you can take them on all your characters. Would that be regarding cheating? I don't know. Explore, B, explore, C, hold up. I still need gold. It's a lovely fighter that's standing there next to me. Beautiful fighter, but it's only a C, but it is beautiful. I like that that finish. I am a pussy because I'm not really geared for fighting, so I'm just chilling out here. I know I have to fight at certain points, but that is a must. So if I should have any chance to... How am I actually with sodium? I'm actually not too bad, but wow. Whoop, that's the coal planet, isn't it? Yep. That was actually where I started, so... Been there. It's not a bad... Well, I know I can't avoid fighting all the time, but I'm a little bit like... I would like it to wait until I feel I'm ready for it. And one of the problem is they might come with 3, 4, 5 ships, and I don't have a proper gun. I think this is an abandoned building.
Now protection falling.
So...
Temperature levels stabilizing.
It's actually not the worst type of buildings to find, but it is a lot of well, kind of being introduced into a lot of things. So now I can make antimatter. That is not bad. Did I get nanites as well? Yeah, I'm not interested in that right now. It's funny, it seems like, okay, you have to do that now here. No. I really don't want to do it right now here. I'm standing in an abandoned building. There is goo all over the place. What if something comes running? Just saying. And I'm actually tempted to... What is that over there? That is cobalt. Actually very tempted to take the dioxide. Okay. Dioxide is useful for the shielding of thermal protection for sub-zero planets. So you can always find the one fueling it on the planet which is affected. So the radioactive one would be uranium, which there is. Cold planets is dioxide. A hot planet is phosphorus, and so on. Toxic is ammonia. So as I said, I was tempted to take the whispering eggs, and I will do that the safe way. Because I don't want to fight those. Oh, fuck. Very smart. And now I'm saying I'm doing this the safe way. I actually don't know if that is true with Permadeath. My only weapon I have is my mining laser. Which can kill animals. So well, the question is, do they actually subside normally? Actually they are. Just making some space, and I don't actually need until I get a gun. So again, this is one way of making money, because these eggs are around, this is 60,000 a piece. So this is textbook safe pickup of lava core. So the price is 69,000 each. So it's how you pick them up safely. So if you ever need to do that without fighting the abnormal horrors or whatever they're called, biological horrors, then you make a hole down, make sure it goes down more, so when you shoot them they roll down to you. I think I have a video on YouTube as well how to do this, but and it's just then the waiting game, they will crawl down under the ground again. I always found that a little bit of a joke, that I'm underground and they go underground, but they don't attack me. So you can do that all the way around. I can't be bothered, it takes too long time. Yeah. So it wanted me to make antimatter. So okay. So that I would actually rather go to my base and do, because that is kind of where I am doing things. But I still have a unsolved problem with gold. Yeah, I stopped because I'm actually looking for asteroid field. I thought there was one coming through me before me, but sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't, and that's that.
Technology recharge.
Oh, so yeah. They have a tendency to be the same, so if I jump into the ring, there would normally be some, but it's not a guarantee, but there was some there. So That was a little bit more hairy than I actually thought they were going to gank me there immediately. Because that actually looked a little bit more hairy than I liked. So, actually going to put these over here. That I got some goods. Ugh. Living Pearl is, yeah. That's exactly what it is. They can be hard to come by, but they are not very valuable. Come on.
Units received.
So, going to leave it there for now. Just, well, actually doesn't matter. I was thinking that, well, having money is better than goods because they can't scan my money. But I thought, well, having money and be dead doesn't really benefit anything. That's actually just as bad as just being dead, so yeah. So I'm going to...
Radiation protection falling.
No, I'm not. Oh dear. I need to do a couple of things first. Well, unfortunately I have to refine so I get some chromatic metal, so that's a little bit the tricky part of this part of the game, is that certain things goes a little bit slow, and playing on Permadeath makes me play a little bit slow anyway, because I am on normal game I play very reckless sometimes, and that is not very good. So, how much do I actually have here? Boo, 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 boo. I don't have have a lot of nanites, so question if I actually should make some. I would like to start getting some upgrades to first of all my exosuit. I know that I have to do a hyper jump before I get the anomaly. That itself is actually fine, but so I need to make 40 condensed carbon. No, 20, sorry. Just need to make one of them. Well, I probably will have to go out and farm some more. I actually have quite a lot which can be into nanites already, so it's unfortunately it takes some time, but now I have done that. That was kind of a mission, so yeah, I have done that. So oh, man.
Radiation protection falling.
Okay, now it says fuel the hyperdrive. Oh, Jesus. There's some animals somewhere which seem to be quite slow. So on the other game I started on Thursday, where I played the no money challenge, I was so lucky on these.
Radiation protection
I
falling.
found 3 thermal S-class protections. can't be bothered with that right now. Yeah. So, being lucky is what happened in one game, and the next game is not very. So, yeah. But it is the funny thing sometimes, how things goes, and I will say that I do not mind not being lucky. I do not mind have to work for things. It's absolutely fine. I don't want things to be thrown in my pocket anyway. I don't find that. I do find a little bit of pride when I actually do something and it's down the line with you finally did this, and this is your kind of achievement. You've done this. Hooray! I love that. I'm running out of carbon again.
Radiation protection falling.
That's not carbon now. That one is. I know I'm taking the wrong one, but the good thing is they will regenerate, but don't know when. It's never good to know.
Radiation protection falling.
I know. As I said, carbon is
Radiation protection.
one of the things you really need to keep filling up, because it fuels so many things, and it actually
Radiation protection.
constantly you need it. So, 2 seconds. What was it I needed? I needed metal plating. I can only make one, but at least that will power something. No, I need to make the metal plating first.
Radiation protection.
Move it.
Falling.
So, put one up, and at least I have some daytime. I don't have the battery yet.
protection stabilizing.
So at least I can go into space directly. So what else do I? Fuel the hyperdrive. I think I should make myself some nanites, and I have to take the time it takes. Yeah, I have 2 and it takes 3. Yeah.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge. Units received. Units received.
It was only number 5. Oh dear. I thought I had much more on this planet, but oh well. That is something which happens a lot, I would say. I very often think, oh, I've been scanning 20 animals, and then you realize, no, I haven't. That was not what you did.
Radiation protection falling.
Well, I am in dire need of carbon, so I have to grab as much of that I can. Salt, I don't want salt. Not at this point.
Radiation protection falling.
Yeah, I know.
Technology recharge.
Luckily, I got a
Radiation
lot of cobalt, so I could actually create that. That is I thought I took this long ago.
radiation protection stabilizing.
So
Technology recharge.
this is one part which sometimes is annoying, but as I am in so dire need for actually surviving what I'm doing, I can't afford to die, then I have to think about what can make me better. And nanites is one thing which actually I need. Especially as I might be ending up in fights with, wow, pretty much anything. It could be angry animals to sentinels to ships attacking me, sentinel ships attacking me, pirate freighters even. That's one I'd rather not meet right now. But what I'm actually thinking, and I need to kind of look into, do I want to play this vanilla all the way through, or do I want to go and pick up some stuff in the anomaly when I can. That's
Radiation protection falling.
that's really the question, and I don't really know what the proper answer is, because I would say I should probably not go and take things from the anomaly. I should use as I should play vanilla and kind of get what I can from proper sources and all that kind of thing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I take the challenge as it is all the way. Yeah, I know. Problem is I don't care. Because when I come in here, it's actually fine. So, I'm very sorry this is taking a long time to get through these. But to be honest, it is so necessary I do it. Because otherwise I will lose any little bit of advantage I have.
Radiation protection falling.
So it's just a question keeping it up to date, and that's okay.
Radiation protection falling.
The good thing is there is not many sentinels on this planet, so I can actually pretty much farm as I want to. Oh, the wrong one, but never mind. I could actually do with an advanced laser. That I have to wait a little bit until I can get.
Radiation protection falling.
Luckily there's plenty of plant life on this planet, because sometimes you choose a planet and it actually shows out to be a rather barren one. I have been down that route a couple of times where you're trying to actually get something that hardly is.
Radiation protection falling.
So for now.
Radiation protection.
Yeah.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
So
Technology recharge.
So question is, should I save this and do it off stream as I do normally? I'll let it run through these, and then I will do the hyperdrive test run. I think that's the next one coming up. Let's see what that brings us. Going to leave that here. So let's see. That comes down there. That's not for sale. That's not for sale. That one can be sold, but it's worth nothing. These I'm just holding for the exosuit. So I actually don't really have anything for sale right now. The problem is I have a lot of things that might or might not be useful down the line. That one I can put over there. So I have plenty of carbon for a bit now. Wow. Okay. So let's follow the missions on what I should and shouldn't do.
Technology recharging.
So I did take it with 2, so what on earth? So where we want to go? Towards the galactic core. That is 97 light years. Now the problem is we can't get back, but never mind that. What? What? I normally would like to go to the space station first, but let's see what this is. And let's see if I kind of survive it. Not sure I can remember totally. this another radioactive? No, that's a toxic one. Okay.
Toxic protection.
So it was not this monolith. However, I'm going to check it anyway. I take the money again. That's not what they want me to find right now, but so it's that way. 1300. So that's the approximately location. But that would take me out on a quite a long walk, wouldn't it?
Toxic protection.
Oh no, don't do that. There's one thing I need to not do. Absolutely stupid what I just did. Putting myself in danger is not really a good option.
Toxic protection. Falling.
Thing is, I know I need more chromatic metal down the line, so when I walk across it, then I'm tempted to say, why not?
Technology recharge. Toxic protection. Falling.
Yeah, that's fine. Worst part is I have to walk back to the ship because I was again stupid. I didn't actually soldier. Yeah, well, sword. I really don't want too much sword, but take some because you need it sometimes.
Technology recharge. Toxic protection. Falling.
I get a lot of milestones, so I'm going to get some nanites when I get to the anomaly, but until then, oh well. Come on. Huh.
Inventory full.
Oh, there.
Inventory full.
Damn. All this for one warp cell.
Toxic protection. Falling.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to run all the way back to the ship.
Technology recharge.
Because I forgot to fill it up.
Toxic protection. Falling.
Oh well. That is stupidity for you. I am one of those which sometimes do things the very hard way.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
And I'm suffering from one thing which is already starting to annoy me. Lack of space.
Toxic protection. Falling.
And that's That was the same problem I had when I played Survival. I am not happy with not having space, but it's something I have to learn to live with when I play these. Of course, I can still make sure I get slots and all that kind of things. So because no matter what, my exosuit is still theoretically S-class. So that I can actually build on and make sure is becoming and am fine. So, yeah, that I knew. So, make my way into space, and I will actually go to the space station. At least then I can get one slot in my exosuit. So So if I put these on the starship for now, not on the multi-tool, no, on the starship. There. And at least I have, oh, that one needs to go to the starship as well. Life support is needed here, so take the normal tour around. each space station you can buy one slot. In your exosuit. Problem is, I'm curious to buy things for my. However, I don't have enough for S class or A class for that matter. So all I can buy is B and C, and I don't really want to start chalking them on at this point. C class. I could put a slot on my multi-tool, but I hope I can get it upgraded relatively soon. Getting standing with them, that's not bad, but not really what I need. So in the thing, I can sell that. Problem is I don't know when I actually need it, so there's kind of a system to what I'm doing, because gigs are trade. If there's no trade, I take mystery. Because that is actually something which I can sell. Simple. So Viking is aggression. The only thing is, it's a double-edged sword sometimes, because they might be offended because they don't see you as equal. So can I start doing missions? Oh, I can. Exosuit upgrades. Okay, that I'm not going to do now. So that's good. It will become money at some point. A lot of milestones. That's kind of interesting, but and that will give me a lot of nanites when I get to the anomaly, but why can't I check that? Okay, I'm going to take this back to my base. I know I have things to do here, but I will come back here next time. And then I will just do the refining off stream, so that is done, and then I have a lot more nanites when I start next time. So this is good night from me. We have past 1 o'clock, which is my normal end time. For some reason my ship is ended inside the building. Interesting. That is very inconvenient. That unfortunately sometimes happens.
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
Can't do much with that inside the building, so I will have to do this. Yeah, I will say good night for today, for tonight, and this will be the end of my stream. I will wish everyone a good night, good evening, good day, whatever time zone you're in. I will be back at 8 o'clock UK time tomorrow, where I will be playing the No Money Save, which is another new one, but it's on normal, but I'm not allowed to use money, so everything I have to come up with has to be acquired with no usage of money, no units, no nanites, no quicksilver. So that is the challenge, and it was bloody hard, I can say. That I will be playing tomorrow, so come back tomorrow and see how that pans out. Otherwise, Permadeath will be back again Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So good night from me, and stay safe out there, and see you next time. Bye for now.